Yo, hello. Is the stream working? Hopefully. Before I do this, completely forgot to get a bed. Part of the screen is cropped out. Does that look stupid? Yeah. Guys, I did say this on my last stream that basically the game is like all messed up at the moment. On the stream, I can't stream in full screen because it makes my cursor disappear. I don't really know why it's doing that. So until basically I can get that fixed, I basically have to film in windowed mode. Yeah, I have to stream in windowed mode, and then switch the screen out. It makes the stream look quite bad, unfortunately. But I mean, this literally I can't really do anything about it. I genuinely don't know how to fix that. So yeah, there's not really much I can do about it at the moment. I said this in the last stream, but honestly I don't know how to fix that. So the goal of today's stream is to mine out this entire chunk, which is, I'm gonna be honest, I've already started. I'm pretty sure, I don't know what the final level is at this point in Minecraft. All of the diorite needs to go as well, so. Quick product's so bad. Yeah, so I've recently done a raid, a level 5 raid. It made me about 3 stacks of emeralds, which overall is about... it was actually a little bit more than 3 stacks. Basically, I managed to get about 28 blocks of emeralds from it. My goal is basically every time I do a raid, I'll be able to make a stack of blocks, because some people know that basically my goal in this world is to basically make like a really cool thing. I've also got a new texture pack on, which is vanilla tweaks. Basically just make some of my stuff smaller. My stomach is really hurting. Part of the screen is also still on the thing for the stream, so just move it up like that. But yeah, basically, yeah, there's just some things I changed about the way the stream looks and stuff, and also, actually, I will remember this. I'll remember to do this before I go and empty out my inventory. Basically, one of the things that I talked about doing yesterday, which was I finished the castle. Well, not finished. It needs a little bit more work. But why is my Outlook? Why is Outlook open? I don't even have an Outlook. Get off my screen. Yeah, that took a while, to be honest. The castle was cool. I made a lot of changes. I haven't showed that off yet. Hopefully, in this stream, I'll be able to finish this chunk mining. I don't know. I honestly don't know how much I'm gonna do. I don't know what the end of the world thing is, so I can't really do that either. I don't even know if I need to dig out an entire chunk all the way down to the end of the world. I just kind of want to. I'll tell you what as well, what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill up my inventory. Actually no, I can't because of the thing. By the way, did anyone watch Superman in the cinema? Come out last Friday, I believe. I'm just gonna give an honest review. So I've never been a huge fan of DC. I mean, I was a huge fan of DC before it became like a movie franchise. I hated the entire the DC like movies. I think I've only ever enjoyed like the Batmans, the Christopher Nolan Batman, and the other Batman with Michael Keaton, and then there was another Batman as well. I have never been an enjoyer of DC really. My favorite superhero is Superman. Superhero. I wouldn't class any of the Marvel people as superheroes really. Well, I don't know. The term superhero is like, you always think of like heroes with superpowers, right? And it's like, no one really in the current like superhero market, like the big superhero market, like Marvel and DC, really fits the category of being a superhero. In my eyes, I guess Superman kinda does. I mean, he's the OG, but yeah, in my eyes, the Superman film was exactly what I sort of expected. I knew it was being obviously directed by James Gunn. James Gunn obviously was a huge piece. I mean, I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I think the third one, I mean, every single one of those Guardians films, they just did better every single time. I thought the first one was great, and then the second one was even better, and then the third one was one of the biggest masterpieces of all time. Like, I was like, how can they just, like, when I was watching that in the cinema with my younger brother, like, I just thought, like, you know, there's not really any way they can just improve this, and every single scene was just a masterclass. I think the whole like DC stuff really reflects that, and I'm hoping they're gonna do the same with, like, you know, I feel like with Superman they were scared to do certain things. It feels like there was like certain parts they didn't want to make him too powerful. They didn't want to sort of make him like too weak. I think that was my only criticism. Is the Superman is strong, right? He's literally could beat the entire of the Marvel, probably the entire of the Marvel universe and DC universe at the same time. Like, his character is ridiculously OP, right? Which is why a lot of people were mad when they killed him in what's it called, in that one film, Batman vs Superman. I was really annoyed when they did that. So, because they never ever portray Superman at full strength. Like, he is a powerful guy in the comics and everything. He is essentially, you know, a god. He is insanely strong. He is powerful. He is a powerful superhero. And I mean, even Homelander, right? Like, you watch, if anyone watches The Boys. The Boys is really good. I do recommend people watch that. But in The Boys, Homelander is supposed to be like a Superman character, an evil Superman. But even there, bro, like, Homelander feels much more powerful than Superman did in the Superman film, and it very much confused me. Like, I want, you know, Homelander sort of gives you this feeling, at least for me, of like hopelessness. You know, That was his entire point of his character. He was supposed to be a symbol of hope that makes you feel, as a viewer at least, more hopeless. And to be honest, in the film though, in Superman, I honestly felt like I was agreeing a lot more with Lex Luthor a little bit more than I was with Superman. He just felt like the sort of like golden boy guy, and there was this one scene that was like super cringy and it was weird. I understand the movie is obviously supposed to be for children. At the end of the day, it's supposed to be a children's movie, really. But I felt like there was some things that I felt like they didn't do, but only because they felt like they were too scared to do it. If that makes sense to people, I don't know if it does, but that's what it felt like to me. It felt like they were scared to really show the character, to show off the character, what he could do. I don't know whether that was from like a standpoint of like they didn't want to show off his character too much and show that he was actually super powerful, or whether like they say, like he's only been Superman for, I think they said 3 days, no, 3 years, and that isn't long. So it could be like a thing that's like, this is early Superman, so here's Superman now. What could he, how powerful could he be in in a few years, or like a few movies? Maybe that was the idea. I'm not sure. It felt really strange anyway, the way they did it. I wish they, I don't know. I know they're doing Supergirl or Superwoman now, and I feel like doing a Superman film and then a Supergirl film immediately after was a bit of a weird decision. Not 100% on that. That's really strange. Would have thought they would have moved away a little bit from that. Maybe done like another person instead of like another Superman, basically. We'll see. I hope they go with a different vibe. I don't know. I think, like a lot of people are saying though, I do agree with a lot of what everyone's saying with the, like it was an insanely strong start to hopefully a prosperous sort of DCU, if you will. Okay, I think I'm just going to sleep here because it's forcing me. Yeah, let me know what you guys think, because honestly I thought like it was such a good strong start to what I hope is a really good like sort of like DCU. Like it does entice me quite a lot to, maybe tune into whatever they're doing next. Like Supergirl is definitely not a film I would be overly excited to watch, but I mean, it could be pretty good. Same as I'm excited for Fantastic Four, only because I don't know anything about the movie. I don't know anything about Fantastic Four. I watched the original. Well, I say the originals. They're not really that original or old. But I watched like the older ones from like 2010 and 2012, I think. I haven't watched the newest One? I'll tell you what I'm doing. And yeah, I felt like the movie was enough. You know, I felt like it did enough of what I wanted it to do. It was good. It was enjoyable. Um, like I said, it gave me a lot of hope for the DCU in the future. I mean, I have a lot of hope already in the fact that when I realized it was James Gunn, there was going to be sort of heading the projects and stuff like that. Like I felt like a lot more confident in the ability. But I feel like there was a lot more they could have done with it. I feel like there was a lot more interesting stories they could have taken the route down. It was a very like sort of basic base level story. That was a risky move from them. From I think it was Warner Brothers. But that was quite risky for them to do that. Because I feel like there could have been a lot more stuff touched on. There could have been a lot more interesting stories. There could have been a lot more, I don't know, a lot more stuff they could have done. I just done the same thing I done yesterday again. There we go. to do is I'm actually going to mute my mic so I can sort of do other things. I'll still be here to answer chat though, so don't worry about that.